Welcome to another episode of the Lions Den, y'all. If this is your first time tuning in, we focus on everything. All right, we focus on everything: leadership, growth, and action from the household out in the community. Right on. Let me see. Give me a second, y'all. Let me try something out because I don't like the way this is acting up. All right, don't worry about it. All right, so this weekend, so obviously my co-host isn't here. He's out getting it in the ATL. So shout out to her, man. Hopefully you being safe out there with the fam. He's watching a football game out there with some family and everything. But be safe and safe on the road. Okay. But y'all, this weekend has been pretty chill, pretty chill, relaxing, getting it in, just connecting with people, great individuals, having a good time, eating good, trying to, trying to keep this girlish figure together as the season change. And actually, here y'all, Southern Illinois it's a mess. A couple of days ago, it was in the mid 70s, and now it's like in the mid 40s. I don't know what's going on, but seems like Mother Nature's on her. She going through her monthly or whatever the case it is. It's out of line. All right, make up your mind. Anyway, so y'all, today we're gonna have a real good conversation, and oh boy, if you're sitting down listening, put on your seatbelt, y'all. It's gonna be something else. So make sure you hit the share button and subscribe and all that good stuff, because we're gonna get this in. And yes, thank you for letting me know. I got notification, y'all. My audio is a little choppy, but we're gonna get it situated. Give me 1 second. I think I know what it is. I think I know exactly what it is. But we're gonna get it together. But anyway, y'all, so we're talking about cognitive dissonance. So what is that? My goodness, like seriously, what is it, y'all? What does that mean for not just you? What does it mean just in general? Okay. I'm gonna get you some information. I do apologize. I don't know what it is that's going on, but essentially, y'all, we all do it. Okay, we all do it. We hold two conflicting beliefs at the same time. It happens all the time, okay? And we try to act like everything is okay. You get what I'm saying? And it happens everywhere. It's like deep down inside, there's this tension, there's this turmoil that's going on. It's like a mental tug of war. Some people say it's like a spiritual war that's going on, and it eats us alive. All right. It shapes how we remember who we are and who we were, if that makes sense. And then what happens is we try to justify it. For real, low key, we try to justify it, and somehow with that dissonance, it actually sabotages who we want to become. All right. Now, the deal is this: psychologists calls it cognitive dissonance, right? But most of us call it, look, I'm just going through the day. No, right? That means you see something that's out of line, but because you don't want to ruffle no feathers, or you don't want to, make a stink out of something, you just don't say anything, but you know what right looks like. Okay. You know what right looks like. But anyway, so today we're going to break through this tension. All right. We're going to try to anyway. Okay. Now, joining me in the den, y'all, some of y'all seen him getting it in on TikTok. I ran across this brother. He's spitting some fire. I'm like, oh man, I got to have this. I got to have him on. We got to dive in deeper to have this chat. And so he's not just by him entertaining millions of folks right on TikTok, but by making us question the real thing, like who are we? And what type of lies do we tell ourselves? So, look, y'all, without further ado, I want y'all to give it up to Jeremy Williams, y'all, in the building.
Hey, Seth.
There you go. What up, though? What up?
Thank y'all. What's happening, man? What's happening?
Thank you, bro. Thank you for joining us, man, in the den. So, if you don't mind, man, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. I know you killing it on the social media game, man. Tell us about yourself, man.
Yeah, so my name is Jeremy. On TikTok, it's down south _ Chico. And I am somebody who has a lot of questions about life in general, about myself, about religion, about how the world operates, about power, about damn near any and everything. Um, I can say that a large part of that comes from the childhood that I experienced and the person that I had to become to detach myself from those traumatic situations. It's like a forever growing curiosity. I don't think there's a stopping point. You know what I'm saying? People say, oh, it's not the destination, it's the journey. I agree with that 1,000%. So I'm somebody who's constantly in search of it.
No, no, that's dope. That's dope. And you know, it is cool too, man, because we all should be, but for some reason, I mean, we just operate in this level of comfortability. You dig what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
what happens is it creates, in my opinion, it creates a loop. So, from your opinion, man, look, how much do you think we rewrite our memories to ease discomfort about our past versus
Mhm.
our present self?
I think that's something that we do a lot. I truly believe that your past or just life in general is just a narrative, and the narrative can always change, and you can change it in your favor, which might cause like more discomfort, or like you're talking about, you can change it to where there's more ease. So you may forget certain things, or certain things that may paint you out to be the villain of somebody else's story. You may remember it completely differently, just so you can maintain the identity that you've created and the comfort that you've built around it.
That's right. That's right. And it's silly though, man. I'm not sure why we do that, but I mean, would you say it's to protect an image, or do you think that it's just a part of us that we're trying to avoid? Kind of like playing peekaboo with our real self. You dig what I'm saying? It's like, okay,
Yeah.
if I avoid this thing, maybe it'll go away. Or if I keep quote unquote faking it until I make it, maybe I will become that. Like, why do you think people do it?
Okay, so I do think fake it till you make it until you become it. I think that's actually important. Depending on like what realm we're talking about, I think that's very healthy because um, I just discovered the other day. I think it was Eileen Gu, the Olympian who's been killing it and just got all the fire quotes on TikTok this week.
Mhm.
But listening to her, I was like, yeah, evidence is something that's built. You know what I'm saying? When you're in the process of creating a new identity for yourself, you have to build that evidence through your actions, through your thoughts, and through your emotions. So you may not be that thing yet, but you are in the process of. I don't even. I got to find a replacement word for becoming. I don't like that word anymore, but I'm gonna use it today. You are in the process of becoming that thing. Now, when it comes to like um, dealing with the past,
Mm.
and I think a lot of people try to protect the image because a lot of people feel like, okay, cool, I can trick everybody around me into believing this thing about me that I know not to be true. And if I can do that, I'm winning. But that's not the case because if you still are internally messed up by it, first off, you're not fooling as many people as you think you
Come on.
are.
Right.
Matter of fact, if you're around people who have done the work, or people who just have that type of discernment, dog, you're not fooling anybody.
Mm.
So you have built this life for yourself, and anytime somebody tries to come in and penetrate that bubble that you've built, you just deflect,
Mhm.
and in the process, you're draining yourself. You're draining yourself.
See, now full transparency. When was there a time, if there was a time,
Mhm.
that you were in that space? You like, wait a minute, look, individuals are seeing right through me. I'm trying to do this thing, but I'm not there yet. Like, was there a time
Mhm.
when you had those conflicting type of ideals?
Man, I'm gonna say yes, just based off the strength that I'm human. But let me think about a moment when it was like, okay, cool, I'm faking the funk, and I can't fake the funk no more. Everybody can see.
Right.
Um, I mean, I think I just go back to my relationship with my mom.
Hmm.
I thought that anger being like the main emotion that I used to describe that relationship was allowing me to hold like a position of power within that dynamic while she was still alive. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But in actuality, I know for sure my sister, if nobody else could tell what was really going on, it was the sadness. Matter of fact, it was a therapist that told me that one time. She said your anger is just a bodyguard for your sadness. And I was like, oh man,
It
yeah,
hit
I
you like a
wanted,
ton of bricks, didn't it?
dog, I was ready to leave. Like, what? Who does she think she is talking to me like that? But it it was the truth, and it was a very uncomfortable truth to face, especially since anger was so much of my identity in my 20s. So much of it.
You know what, man? First of all, I appreciate you for being honest about that. And shout out to everybody that's listening right now or that will be listening to this later on in the morning or whatever the case is. And please chime in if you can resonate with this. Grief, like we was talking about a little bit prior to the show, man. Grief is a
Mhm.
real thing. And sometimes we do things to avoid actually sitting with that thing. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like sitting with
yeah.
it and then being able to really listen to what's going on. I am so upset because I'm hurt. I am
Hmm.
so upset right now. I'm so mad. I can call this person A, B, C, and D, and it may be right, but why? What is it internally that has me going through that thing that is now allowing me to sit with that feeling? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a few things. Primarily, like off top, is just the discomfort of it.
Yeah.
Um, and we don't equip people well enough. Well, you and I do, but the world in general doesn't equip people well enough to deal with those internal battles. So people don't even understand like the magnitude of those internal battles. Like once you solve the inside, the outside just kind of falls into place.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to use things outside of you to solve the internal, you're
Mm,
always going to be behind. Also, the idea of yeah, I could be right. For anybody listening, it's not that important to be right. I promise you. I
mhm.
promise you. Who cares? Being right is the thing that's, or just the idea of you having to be right all the time is going to hurt you more than a lot of things in life.
Bro.
Because that's not even the battle. Like you think the battle is between right and wrong, good and evil. No, that's not the battle because the world doesn't operate in these polarizing ways.
At all.
It's the
At all.
nuance in the middle. And but to understand the nuance in the middle, you're gonna have to sit with yourself.
Come on.
You're gonna have to be able to hold multiple perspectives. This is no cognitive dissonance. Like
Yeah.
if you're not able to hold multiple conflicting perspectives, then you are in a losing battle
Every day.
every day. Every day.
Mhm. See? And you know what, man? I'm so glad we're having this conversation, man, because it's like, man, individuals, and sometimes we can wake up and start going through life and going through the normal days of life in the fall, right? Because we're so
Mhm.
used to doing whatever that thing is instead of truly checking in to, with ourselves, like, yo, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what am I trying to project? Right? Is this in line with my definiteness of purpose, or do I want to project something, or am I protecting something? You see, am I protecting an
Hmm.
image that I don't want yet to be seen?
Yeah.
And so now there's so going in line with that, man. So why do you think in social media, right? Why do you think social media creates this divide between our online lives and real lives? Like, and the reason why I ask that is because I truly do believe some things should be sacred. Okay.
Hmm.
And we should protect those things. But then also too, as you're trying to, as you're moving up, like for example, when I had the conversation with you, like, yo, man, I see you getting in. You're like, hey, it's about, being honest, telling your story, right?
Yeah.
Engaging, having that hook. So there's still a level of authenticity. But why do you think individuals only focus on the filter of life, right?
Hmm.
That they're portraying versus the realness of life?
I truly think has to do with self-esteem. Has to do with self-worth. I also want to say that I think TikTok does a great job of allowing people to become TikTok famous by being themselves, or showing an aspect of themselves that they may not show on Instagram, where it's just like straight up filter, everything's polished. It's all about the aesthetic and everything over there. But it's a fear of being judged, and Trust me, I've gone through this. I still deal with this a little bit. I still cringe sometimes before posting on TikTok. So I'm like, damn, man, I don't know how this is gonna be perceived, man. But
Right.
I'm gonna say it, and whatever happens, happens. And I
Mhm.
just know that I'm giving it from a good place. You know what
There
I'm
it is.
saying?
Yeah.
But perception is important to everybody. Now, I do believe it's a spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Like it's closer to the bottom for me, but for a lot of people, it's closer to the top, and they're gonna do whatever they need to in order to project that image that they think is going to get them the likes and the shares and the followers and the views and all that good stuff. Um, because in the social media world, that is the name of the game, or it was for a very long time. But the thing is now, like everything is shifting, and people do want authenticity. And people, people say all the time, like, "Well, I don't be on social media because I don't want to share, my business." No, you're not doing that. There's so much that people don't know about me because I don't share it. I share a very specific part of me in order to help people that are dealing with a similar problem. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mhm.
Like, and that's what I think that's what the overall shift in social media is going. Like people are out here dealing with things. Some people it's like a day-to-day issue. Some people it's a business issue. Some people it's an internal issue, an identity issue. But they want people around who can help them with those things.
That's right.
So the more, like I said, like just if you can just figure out how to be vulnerable within your lane, then you're gonna be good. But anything that's facade, and that can be entertainment too. They don't have to be like education. It can be entertainment.
Mhm.
But anytime you build in that house on a foundation that's not based on truth, it's
Come on.
gonna crumble.
Come on.
It's gonna crumble.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
Yeah. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I dig that. So in your space, right? I've seen it,
Mhm.
but in your space, have you seen, people, I guess, seeking truth, more people seeking truth or defending their comfort zones?
Depends on what I'm posting about.
Yeah.
Uh,
Ah,
so
yeah. Yeah.
I definitely get both. There are a lot of people. So if I'm talking about my mom, like just straight up my relationship with my mom, there's a lot of people that are like, "Oh man, thank you so much, man. I'm going through this right now." And if I'm on live talking about it, like you'll see people, sharing stories in the chat. Because man,
Mhm.
when I get on live, I'll be like, "Folks be asking me questions." And if I didn't experience it, I can't help it. That's why I tell
That's
people
right.
all the time, like, hey, find somebody in the chat. Hopefully, anybody in the chat, can somebody in the chat help them
Correct.
with this? Because I didn't experience it. I don't know how to
Mhm.
help. So there are people that are willing to be vulnerable. Um, but I do see a lot of people fighting for their limitations. Like anytime I talk about my mom and the through the religious aspect, you know what I'm saying, talking about my mom and Christianity. Um, yeah, like I had somebody in my comments the other day just defending their religion. And I thought about saying something back, and I was like, no. And the reason I did not was because that would put me in the same lane as that person. So it's not a matter of what she was defending; it was feeling the need to defend. Yeah,
You
and
see?
I don't want to be in that space anymore. So I allow people in the comments to, I mean, just say your piece. If you saying something wild, somebody else is gonna comment and say
That's
something
right.
wild back to you. You know
Right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right, right.
I'll let y'all deal with that. But it's definitely it's definitely a mixture. It's definitely a mixture.
Man, I'm so glad you said that because yes, it is a mixture. And I talk to Herm about this all the time, man. It's like
Hmm.
picking your battles. You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Picking your battles because, man, sometimes individuals, and it could be friends, family, doesn't matter, relatives or, individuals you're in a relationship with, as you're evolving,
Hmm.
okay, you're starting to see different things. There's always going to be someone there that's trying to pull you back. You get
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Trying to pull you back. And then and now tell me where I'm going with this.
Okay.
Depending on who it is, you look back at that hand, and that hand that's pulling you back is attached to a loved one. It's attached to a
Oh,
past that you tried to, you dig what I'm saying? So now here
yeah.
goes that cognitive dissonance. Like, wait a minute, I'm doing this thing
Hmm.
and I know what direction I'm going in, but there's someone reminding me that I have not always been there. Now I have this imposter syndrome. You see, now I'm feeling
Hmm.
like, wait, damn, am I still am I still that guy? How about yes, I am,
Yeah.
but my past is my past. But how do you navigate between individuals that was a part of your past, but not necessarily a part of your future?
Man, yeah. This is what they talk about in church today. Uh, but how do you navigate that?
Yep.
Man, so this is something that's new to me. But I am having to navigate that, and the best thing that I think I've done so far is just having the understanding that that person definitely had a season in my life, and I'm actually like desiring the things that I'm desiring and creating this new identity based off of things that I learned from them. That never guaranteed that we was going to be moving at the same pace. You know what I'm saying? So it and this is hard because I'm talking about one of my best friends, to
It's
be honest
okay.
with you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and like all the love and all of that is still there. I understand that him, just like me, just like you, just like anybody else, can only operate from the identity that they are living in at the moment.
Come on.
If you were somebody, and thankfully my friend is definitely one of these people, if you're somebody who's constantly trying to grow and evolve, one day him, might have a different perspective on what it is that another loved one has going on. So for me, it's like I have to accept, like, and this is what it was. I have to accept that my friend is where he is, understand that I can't be there with him anymore, but also understand that I will give him room to grow and evolve.
So, yeah, you know, bro, I'm so glad you said that. It's important. Man, it is so important to realize that. And I was just talking to a friend about this the other day.
Mhm.
You cannot take away someone's right to their own path.
Right.
Okay. Because essentially
Hmm.
that will rob them, if you will, of their experience, even as experience that you've went through. You get what I'm saying? But
Yes,
once
sir.
you make that decision, hey, I'm not there anymore, let me give this person compassion to realize, okay, I love him or her, they're there. I'm not going to demonize them, I'm not going to belittle them because I was once there, right on. So
Yeah.
but once I made the decision that I'm moving on, there's no more dissonance. I get
Yeah.
it. But every once in a while, that that sound, right, or the word,
Hmm.
or that name, or whatever the case it is, will cause you to, it'll peek its ugly head and say, "Hey, you remember that one time you did da da da?" Yeah, I do. Yeah, that was fun, man. Why I'm not doing that now? Wait, you forgot you didn't already evolve from that. You did that already.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying, man? That's deep, bro.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I was out the other day and I ran into one of my. I used to teach. I ran into one of my old students' grandmamas, and she asked me like why I didn't go back to one of my old jobs, and I was just like, I mean, because I already did it. I already did it. It doesn't. I'm not the version of myself that would ever work that job again. I learned it was cool while it lasted, but I'm on to different things now.
Bro, man, listen. Look, we first of all, individuals that's listening right now, look, shout out to y'all that's listening. We appreciate y'all. Hit the
Yeah,
share,
for sure.
subscribe, all that, right? We appreciate y'all. Look, I'm in the building with down south Chico. We need to talk about that thing,
Yeah.
too, bro. But
I
man,
got
listen,
you.
man, look, you really hit a nerve. So there's some individuals out there, those that know me, that knows that I've been doing some substitute teaching, right? And
Mhm.
um in East St. Louis, right? St.
Okay.
Louis, now
Yeah.
Southern Illinois, all right, not too far from St. Louis, and it comes with its own trials and tribulations. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, you and just like any other career that I've had, so I retired military, all right, as
Okay.
well, Air Force, and it's like when you know it's time to go, it's time to go. Okay, regardless of
Yeah.
regardless of what people say. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's right. Hey, shout out to you, Kendrick. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you look. Regardless of what people say, you know what you should do. Look, you should have did 20 more years. Look, hey, you should have. Hey, do you? Because I got to do me. It
Yeah.
becomes a point, bruh, when you recognize that there. And I had a conversation with people, with a friend earlier about this, but when you recognize that there is no nobility in suffering, think about it. Nobody care. Like they want the best out of you, but they don't care if they would take the rest out of you. You get what I'm saying? Just the fact that
Mm-hmm.
so it's different. But that cognitive dissonance, that battle is like, man, am I doing this for self, or am I leaving am I leaving these kids, or am I leaving my country because I don't want to do this anymore? Listen,
Yeah.
am I leaving? Am I leaving the country? Does it mean? Hold on, let me get close to the mic because I don't. It's some things I can say, but you got to pick up what I'm putting down. Am I wrong because I've done all that I can do for this country and I'm ready to dip set? Think about it. Am I wrong? Look, at my grown age, because friends, if you're just tuning in, y'all, we're talking about cognitive dissonance, okay? And essentially, this is the battle between what you see and what you know, and that battle that's going on. So when you know who you are and you see certain things that's conflicting that, you have to be able to sit with that and say, what's really going on? Okay. And then after that happens, once you see it, then what? Like you can't unsee it. Now, how do you deal with that, bro?
I actually, if you don't mind, I have a question for you.
All right.
When you were leaving the military, what signs was your body giving you, if any, that it was time to go?
Oh, bro, it's a list. It's a list.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a different show, but I will tell you this: the short end of it, I wasn't looking forward to going anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, meaning like I've been doing this thing for so long, I'm done with it, bro. It's almost like think about some clothes back in the day. You ever had some Jabos?
Yeah.
You have? Okay.
Yeah.
You might have a pair right now that you can fit. The question is, why would you put them on today?
Why would you put them on today?
You did. So it's like
you going to a 2000s party. That's why.
Right? But so what I'm saying is, when you have, to your point, when you've done the thing, you're like, okay, I've done this, I've done this. And then here's another thing. What if, and I'm just using myself to example, for example, what if my goal for being in, I've already surpassed it 4 times.
Yeah.
5, because as a matter of fact, I only wanted to do 4 years. I did that 5 times, you dig? Plus change. So I've already exceeded my own expectations. I'm not worried about your expectations for me. So when it was time, I was like, yeah, I did all that. What's next though? Because now going back into other individuals that cannot wrap their mind around leaving a thing, they may not be able to see themselves outside of what current situation that they're in. You dig? So hold on. Shout out to Miss Trina. What's going on, ma'am? She says, I resigned from teaching after 20 years. I disappointed a lot of people, but I made myself happy. Yes.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Because look, even to that point, people will guilt you because you understand your talent, skills, and abilities doesn't mean you're done with life. How about the next chapter? Like, you don't keep reading the same chapter of a thick book over and over again, do you?
I think that's the thing. You know, people guilting you for changing because 2 reasons. Number one, their identity depends on you remaining the same. Number 2, if you change, they don't know how they're gonna benefit from you changing. You
Wait,
know how you're gonna benefit.
wait. Too much. Slow it down, because we got people in the back. We got people in different countries listening. You dig? So
I got you.
you got individuals. You're saying you got individuals that will benefit from you staying the same.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like Trina was saying, she made parents upset because even though she was evolving into something new, something different, something that made her happy, there's, 20, 25 parents that are like, well, what does this mean for me? And what does this mean for my child? You know what I'm saying? So it's selfish thinking on their part to be upset at her making progress in life. But this is, I mean, these are patterns. This is how it goes in any area. It don't even have to be in a professional setting where there's benefit in that way. But speaking more on the identity thing, like I can only survive if you are who I know you to be. Because if you change, you're shattering something about my reality that I'm not ready to grieve. I'm not ready to deal with. And that it's hard, bro.
It's hard because at the end of the day, that sounds like a you problem.
It most definitely is, but people don't know how to fix those problems for themselves. They don't.
And that's when the gaslighting come in. That's when the gaslighting come in. That's where the passive aggressive communication come. That's when the microaggressions comes in, right?
Yeah.
Because I need to make you feel bad based off of how you're making me feel because you're thinking for yourself. You know what? I don't know if we're ready for it. Look,
no, we are.
Look, hey, that might be a different conversation. Hey, because you're thinking for your damn self, and this facade, you can now see through it. It's a problem because look, we've been grooming you. You dig what I'm saying? We've been working on you. You dig what I'm saying? It's a you problem. But at that point, man, so even when you asked me, like, when was that time? I had to realize this, man. That did not require an explanation. You dig? And I think that that's the hardest thing when it comes down to individuals conceptualizing their cognitive dissonance and trying to separate from it and minimize the dissonance. Like, wait a minute, I don't owe you nothing for real. Like, seriously, like I don't owe you nothing, right? Because even if we're working, let's say we're just talking about jobs. It's a fair exchange. I do the work, I get paid. So I know not being here, I'm not going to get paid. That's it. But when people see that you have a passion for let's say the kids, or you have a passion for this type of thing, that's when they pull on those strings. Now, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with individuals pulling on your emotional strings, bro?
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I do pretty well with that. I'm kind of like, hey man, my answer's my answer, and that's that. Or one of my favorite things in the world to say is, I said what I said.
I said what I said. Now, how long did it take for you to get to that point, though?
Oh man, I mean, I would still think, I think that's still fairly recent. And the reason I laugh because if my daddy was on here, he would tell you I've always been that way. Okay. But I don't think I always have. It got to a point. Let me think. My relationship with my mom is just a really big staple in my life. And I just learned so much about myself through every aspect of that. But being able to tell her no, or being able to disappoint her, has made it so much easier to disappoint everybody else. And I definitely mean that in the best way. Because when I say disappoint,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, just making life decisions that didn't align with what she would have wanted for me. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So when now that I've got all those thoughts out, I would say this has been the majority of my adulthood. but not necessarily always seeing it as like a pattern throughout different relationships. So
That's
some
right.
relationships that may have been a little harder than others,
Mhm.
throughout adulthood. But just once I was able to see things as patterns, it just makes everything so much easier because then you're able to strip away the person
Yeah,
and the relationship and just see what the situation holds. And it's just
that's right.
like, nah, like I'm not gonna do that. And yeah, like if you get an explanation out of me, you're not gonna get it more than one time.
Yes.
But also thank God if you get that explanation. You know what I'm saying? Now the trick is learning to do that with strangers.
Whoa. So check it out. Yes, Miss Clark, what's going on, ma'am? She says that's a form of energy vampires and manipulation. You have to have a firm boundary, excuse me, and you have to advocate for yourself. Absolutely. And you know what? And I do talks on that as far as the energy or spiritual vampires, right? And we have to be
Mhm.
honest with ourselves when we keep showing our neck. Think about it. Y'all seen
Yeah,
Sinners. What was it that what allowed the vampires to come in? Right? They
they
had to
let
be
him in.
invited. Come on now. They
Yeah.
had to be invited. So how many people are you inviting to manipulate you? So I say that to say this. I appreciate you being transparent with that because I know that it comes with its own issues. People will
Mhm.
say, now you're being an asshole only because you're standing up.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
you're enforcing boundaries. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying? And check this out. This is the real jacked up part. Individuals will say, if it was anybody else, you should have forced them, but not with me.
yeah, yeah. Everybody wants to be the exception.
What?
Oh,
Not with
and
me.
I'm so happy that you're saying that because it's something that works like both ways.
That's right. That's
It,
right.
it, it it works both ways. So it's like I can't be anybody's exception. I'm getting to the place where I don't want to be the exception. You know what I'm saying? Like your boundaries are your boundaries because if you make me the exception all the time, well, I'm not developing skills that I need to respect people's boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm missing out on development as well. So if you're able to uphold that, like, hey, oh, okay, cool. That's your space. All right, cool, bet.
And you're absolutely right. So check it out, Kendrick. Man, you hitting this. This makes sense, but I want to push back a tad. So it says that's tough. That's a tough one when mom is still your undisputed day one. The deal is, bro, what I had to learn even with my mom, right? Now she passed back in the day, I think 2018.
Mhm.
And no, 19, as a matter of fact, right before I turned well, right after. Yeah, right after before. But anyway, the thing is that it seemed as though, even with just using my example, my mother, for example, there's only certain things that she could have taught me if she knew that thing. You get
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So as we started to develop and I became, I've surpassed the age that she was when she had me, and we would have more um man and woman conversation versus son and mother conversation. I'm like, wait a
Mm-hmm.
minute, my mother needs some growing to do, even I. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I was talking to a friend the other day. She said she remembers seeing her parents grow up. You understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So, but
Yeah.
it's unfortunate when, let's say, for example, you're in a relationship, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and you start off in a space where ignorance is bliss, and then all of a sudden life start lifing, and you're like, okay, wait, that's how you deal with that.
Yeah.
Now, just because you deal with it that way does not mean I don't love you, but that also means that we need to work through some things because I can't go there. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? And I see that
Mm-hmm.
that's an issue. Now you can come with me, but the unfortunate part is that if you don't, I can't stay with you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying in that thing, right?
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate. Don't get me wrong, it's unfortunate, but at certain times it's necessary. Hey, yo, look, shout out to everybody that's tuning in, y'all. We're talking about cognitive dissonance, okay? And I get your boy down south Chico in the building. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
down south Chico, man, we done got deep real quick, bro. Real quick. We gonna keep it. Let's keep it light for a second. Tell us about the down south Chico. Where that come from, bro? I thought that, man, that sound
So
like a rapper name.
it is. Yeah. So Chico came from man middle school. I used to walk this girl to Spanish class every day. She started calling me Chico. And then it just kind of caught like wildfire, man. Everybody growing up used to, say I look Hispanic and Dominican and things like that, Puerto Rican. So the name just stuck. When I started making music, that was my stage name. The down south is a more recent development. We was trying to me and my producer were just trying to find a different name because Chico, you type in Chico anywhere. Chico is a very common name. So we
That's
need
right.
something to separate you. I'm from
Yeah.
Nashville, down south. So
There you
we
go.
just ran with that. I don't know what made me think of that on that day, whatever day that was, maybe like 2 years ago. But I was like,
Yeah.
I like that.
You
I'm gonna
like
stick with
that?
that. Yeah, I like
That's
that.
it. I could dig it. Hey, and look, Herm, man, look, we're gonna have to have another show, man, and have Herm with us, man. He's from Clarksville,
Okay.
matter of fact.
Oh, right up the street. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's what's up.
And
Yeah.
when I'm traveling, I try to go and holler at him, but man, it's like a one stop sign, and I'm done. I don't know what happened, bro. I just go by. I missed a little time, but anyway,
Yeah.
man, solid dude, man. He's one of my best friends. But down south Chico, okay, cool. Well,
Yeah.
now look, let's crack this thing open, man. So
Mhm.
so when I found you, all right, on social
Mhm.
media, you was very, very transparent, like a lot of individuals are, especially when they got that car studio, right? So you in your car studio, you dig, and you
Straight
open.
up.
I mean, that's how it is. You dig? It starts there.
Yeah.
But you was really getting it in, man. Very transparent about your relationship with your mother and the
Mhm.
demise and how that worked out, man. Now, if you don't mind giving us like a condensed version of to those individuals that don't really know about that talk, I'm gonna give it to you. What was
Yeah.
that about, and the inspiration for that?
Oh man, the inspiration for the talk itself.
Yeah.
Okay. So just in a nutshell, me and my mom had a very adventurous relationship. My childhood was very adventurous, a lot of traumatic situations and
Right.
and things like that. And ultimately, it led to her killing herself in 2021. But she was the type of person I would describe her as underdeveloped in a lot of ways, and she used Christianity to hide behind the fact that she didn't have the internal tools to um, better herself, and it just became like this murky place where she became like over religious. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And that became reason for her to stay in a very toxic marriage that kind of isolated her, not only from her kids, but some of her family members, some of her friends, and things like that. But what inspired the talk? I've actually that's actually kind of like my rise to
Hmm.
fame, or at least the followers. You know what I'm saying on
Right.
TikTok is being open about that. Um, I remember the very first time I spoke about it. Um, I talked about the actual day that she killed herself, just like event by event by event, but I framed it in a way that I was talking about forgiveness because
Yes.
I was able to forgive my mama before that happened. Um, and it wasn't with the intent of getting people like first. I'm never trying to mend anybody's relationship with their
Of
mama.
course. Of
If you
course.
beef with your mama, hey, go for it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
That's
saying?
yeah.
But I am concerned about the development of every individual. So like the forgiveness piece is always about how it can benefit you. You know what I'm saying? And the talk has changed a lot as I've grown as a person. That first talk was actually July 8th, 2022, which was a year from her suicide. Um, and the person I was then, I don't even think I fully was able to grasp like the depths at which I'd be able to talk about this. I just knew somebody needed to hear it because I know I'm not the only person that has dealt with suicide in that way. And also just talking about how forgiveness mended that relationship in the nick of time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how I would be if my mama's last text to me and my sisters didn't say, "Thank you for loving me." You know what I'm saying? Because we weren't always in that space where she felt loved by me,
Mhm.
because of all the anger, and the anger was justified.
Mhm.
It was justified, but like I said earlier, being right is not the end all be all.
That's right. That's right. And so, as we talk about that, and again,
Mhm.
man, my condolences. I know that that's That's always a thing. Breathing, man,
Yeah.
especially if, hey, you only got one. You dig? And
Mm-hmm.
so that's not a small thing to just brush off, right? But it's
Yeah.
like, how do you feel that organized religion, you know, kind of clash with today's search for truth? And like, do you think that organized religion, kind of the structure ease or increase the cognitive dissonance?
I think it definitely increases it because people will ignore like what they see in their own world and what they see in the world in general to maintain the identity that they built around the religion. I do also think that the stuff that we do,
Mhm.
I really and me going to church today really confirms it. I don't think it's far off. I think it's taught at a level that's very surface level that doesn't dive into like the work that actually comes with
Come on.
the principles or the stories or the parables or the teachings. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So yeah, like I used to like bash it and stuff like that. Now I'm like but I encourage everybody to take like peel those layers back.
Correct.
Everybody wants to, not everybody, but there's a lot of talk on like deconstruct. Let's deconstruct this Christianity. I'm deconstructing right now.
Mhm.
That's cool. That's cool. But I'm still more concerned with you making sure that you have those tools. I really don't concern myself or think it's worthwhile to talk about whether or not this Bible story is real or if Jesus really did this or that. Because when we were talking earlier, like you said, how is this helping you today?
For real.
How's that? So being able to, let me not say being able, but hearing teachings from other people or reading books like The Power of the Subconscious Mind,
Hmm.
reading books like The Power of Now, that completely, like it doesn't dismantle the teachings, but it gives you a better understanding that does help you get through the day.
That's right.
Does help you build the life, does help you build those internal tools, does help you learn to become present and hold multiple perspectives at one time, which will completely eliminate that cognitive dissonance.
And you know what? Even to your point, man, I think based off of the things that we do, and how we communicate with individuals, bring a level of accountability that certain spaces don't.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
instead of making you comfortable or making reasons or saying it's an external thing that's going on, that's one way to think about it. Don't get me wrong, there's multiple ways to think about it, but that's one way. But the way that I resonate with and that I try to articulate is the prayer of serenity. You get what I'm saying? The serenity play, understanding the difference between what
Mm-hmm.
you can control and what you can't, and the wisdom to know the difference. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
when you realize that, oh, I need some work. Right? I need some work. I can tell you, I don't know how many times, bro, people that we talk to all the day, like, yeah, this person needs counseling. This person needs to go to therapy. This person, what about me?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? If I can see that could help that person, why can't I see that same help for me? You get what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
meaning that it takes work. It takes work. And again, no shade to anybody in their belief or whatever it is
Not
that's
at
going
all.
on. However, you do know there's a difference between what you know and what you do, right?
Man,
There's some smart ass dummies out there. All right. You got some
for sure.
individuals that know the Bible in and out, the Quran in and out, the Torah, all of that in and out. But you look at their car. You see what I'm saying? You look at their
Mm-hmm.
relationships, right? Look,
Yeah.
your kids don't even like you.
Yep.
Why you know
Yeah.
all you get what I'm saying? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
working on that thing. So I guess the question is, how do you harmonize between individuals that don't see the world the way you do, right? They don't have the same world view, but they do understand that there is some work that they need to do within, but they may not understand it in your language.
Mm. How do I harmonize? I am actually around people like that often. Um, I think, well, first off, the exposure piece is really big. And then just understanding that my way is my way. So even when I'm talking on social media about it, I tell people all the time, I may not have your answers, but what I'm presenting to you is an option. I'm presenting like possibility to you. You know what I'm saying? You can think, you can hear what I gotta say, and just keep it moving if you like. But if it resonates with you, it's here for you. It's also fascinating to hear other people with um, different beliefs and backgrounds, because there's always going to be a common thread. And
Yes.
when you see the common thread, you know what it makes me feel?
Mm,
Oh, I'm not right. I'm just
that's right.
I'm right for me.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Mm. See, and I appreciate that, bro. I really do appreciate that. And so, like, what would you say your mission is on the social medias as you're connecting with individuals? What would you, if you can put your mission in a sentence, what would it be?
My mission in a sentence is to help adults of underdeveloped mothers create new identities for themselves.
Mm.
Because
Hmm.
appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes we think the story of our childhood is supposed to be the story of our adulthood, and I was one of those people. I was one of them, man. I don't know if you saw any videos about my not my the seizure condition that I used to have,
Mm.
but it was the result of unresolved childhood trauma, and what literally healed those seizures in my body was me starting to tell a different story about my past, which created a new identity for myself. So my mom and my stepdad were the biggest villains in my story, rightfully so. I forget, like I said, I forgave my mama before she died. My stepdaddy, it took longer because I had suppressed so much about him. I like to say that my stepdad is just a reflection of my mama's decision
There you
making.
go.
And so I didn't hold a lot against him. But when my mom shot herself, my stepdad was there when it happened. The months leading up to it, she was trying to leave that marriage. So I thought that my stepdaddy killed my mama. And that's a story that I told myself. That's a story that I would get on Facebook and talk about. Anybody who want to listen. But after the police investigation was done, guess what? We discovered he didn't do it. But I still didn't want to let that go. Well, maybe he didn't pull the trigger, but he led her up to that.
Right, right,
No,
right.
like it that's making it easy for my mom. No, 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 no. No, my mom made all those decisions that allowed him to be there. You know what I'm saying? So when he died in November 2023, dog, I cried. Not because I was happy, not because I was sad, not because I was angry, but I was confused because I didn't know who I was without the two villains in my life anymore. I
Damn. All
remember,
right, bro. Hold on.
uh,
Hold tight. Hold tight. Hold tight. Let's hold a minute. I need folks to sit in this for a second, bro. Um, I did that on purpose, so give it a minute. Give it a
I
minute
got you. I got you.
because people are holding on to narratives, bro, because they don't want to see the truth.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the few good men, like you can't handle it really, like, and
Yeah.
then no one has given you the tools to handle the truth,
Right.
especially when you see that the individuals that you may have held up to uh, some type of pedestal or high regard, that they're not, bro. They're human.
Human beings. That's
You know what
it.
I'm saying? Yes, it is. Oh man,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
bruh. So now, how did you? And I didn't mean to cut you off, man, but I mean, I,
You
I
did.
need
You
let
did.
me speak in for folk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even for myself, because it's like, damn, I mean, think about it though, for real. Think about how many relationships were severed because of that cognitive dissonance. Like, I need you to be something, even though I don't have the facts, or
Mm-hmm.
I may have the facts, but I don't want to see the facts.
That was me.
I want to feel the facts. And now that those two entities aren't here anymore, what else do I have? So what did you do, bro?
I literally remember asking myself. Well, first I told myself like, damn, okay, that chapter is closed. And at this point in life, I'm reading the books and like the power of now and things like that. And intellectually, I understand that I control this, but my body never felt safe actually being in charge. So I remember I asked myself, I said, man, was it really that bad all the time? And the answer was no. And because the answer was no, that allowed me to pull from another, I'm not going to say another set of facts, but just facts that I was ignoring. So there are maybe four things. My stepdad had been in my life, damn near my whole life. There were maybe four things that I could think of that were either core memories that were like really exciting and good for me, or things that he taught me that shaped my interests. And I said, in that moment, I shifted the story. So then you start to grow in that. You know what I'm saying? So then you start to understand, okay, cool. Well, I know everything my mama went through. I don't know everything my stepdad went through, but I know in order for him to be the man that he was, he had to have gone through something and never worked on himself.
Come on.
And then, bro, then it grew to the point where I was like, I'm actually grateful for both of them.
See,
because they are two of the greatest teachers I've ever had in my life. And also, let me give a shout out to my biological father. Like that's my guy, because while they was putting me through all those situations, he was over here fighting to get custody of me and my sister.
Wow. See?
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
See?
like I tell the story a lot and don't talk a lot about him because there's no like traumatic pieces. But without my biological father, my dad, I would not be here today, because the tools that my mama couldn't give me, he was able to give me.
Bro. Man, okay. So look, man, look, normally I would get a preference and let people know, hey, this is going to be a longer show, and so we're not prepared for it. But shout out to those that's listening. Let me know what you think. First of all, I'm gonna ask you, bro, do you mind coming back? We need a part 2.
Oh man, I don't mind at all, man.
I mean,
yeah,
look,
let's do it, bro.
Hey,
yeah, I'm definitely down for a part 2. And I want to meet Herm. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. You got to meet that dude. He's a mess, but I mean, but at the same time, and I think the perspectives are good because again, man, look, again, we focus on the leadership, growth, and development, and there's not many times, not many, besides me and Herm, right? We have a lot of people on, man. We've been doing this for almost, it's a long time, bro, for real. Like
that's what's up.
So, but it's different when we have men to talk about the struggles. And here's the deal, realizing, hey, the way I did it might not even work for you.
Yeah,
right?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But I recognize that I was out of line. You get what I'm saying? I was a hot mess, but taking accountability and taking the appropriate step. Man, do you know? And I know I need to end it, man. Listen, I sent a text to my daughter, man, and I was like, and paraphrasing, I said, I love you so much. I also need you to know that regardless of what you think, I don't know it all.
Yeah.
I've messed up multiple times, essentially. You get what I'm saying? And I probably will again, but know that I've been trying, and everything that I do is for you, essentially. So you can see that no matter what, it's possible. I do a lot, bro, but I want to make sure she can see it some shape, form, or fashion, because we may not have understood what our parents went through just so we could go through.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like what type of doors they may have kicked down, and here we are. We Watusian through that mug like it's no problem, but we don't know that they knocked it down years ago, even ancestors, right? Years ago. So being able to acknowledge that, man, I commend you for that, man. But look, here, let me be quick. What how can people follow you, bro? How can people follow you?
Look, y'all, I'm on TikTok. every day. All right.
Yeah.
At down south, DOWNSOUF _ Chico.
Hold on, let me go and put it up there for the peoples. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, like the children or adult children of underdeveloped minds, like those are the people who I aim to help. I've started a coaching program to specifically help with that issue because not because I see it as a problem, but because it's a problem that I went through and I know I can help people navigate it.
There it
You know what I'm
is.
saying? I can't do the work for nobody, but I can show you what to do. And with that being said, this is not about me being right. This is not about oh well, I took this literal step, you take this literal step. No, this is about giving you the tools to be able to trust yourself. You have to trust yourself. Then you can trust the process. But trust you, and you will always win.
Wow. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ah, man. You know what, man? Listen. Look, I would normally say something prolific and everything after this, man. I think it's enough, bro. I do appreciate you for no, for real, for joining on, man. This was timely, right? It's
I
time.
appreciate it, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, we're gonna do this again real soon. So check your
Yeah,
calendar, bro. For real. Check your calendar. And then I do appreciate you for being on. And shout out to everybody else that was listening, y'all.
yeah,
Yeah, yo, shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for chiming in and engaging, y'all. This is going to be updated. And look, normally, bro, I'll tell you this behind stage, but it don't matter. So this is going to be up on every major podcast platforms within less than 24 hours. Okay.
yeah.
So I'll make sure I tag you on this, and then we're gonna make clips and everything. People gonna see it on TikTok. I mean, you already got your shelter, but it's good that you're getting it in. You dig, and the line
Yeah.
is in. Seriously though, man, I do appreciate you. And yo, we're gonna be in touch. Right on.
All right, man. I appreciate it, Seth. Thank y'all.
All right, you be easy, bro.
You too, bro.
Later.
Hey, man. That was a good time, bro. That was a good time. Wait a minute, I can't hear you.
Uh,
There we go. There we go.